Have any of you ever wanted to throw a football like Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes? Well, I sure have. Today, I will be showing you a step-by-step process on how to properly throw a football. We will cover the three main points of establishing a base, having the proper hand placement on the football, and the proper arm movements when throwing a football. So let's go to our first point of establishing a base. When establishing a good base, you want to have your feet about shoulder width apart, and you want your feet pointed forward. You want to have a slight bend in your knees with your back straight, and you want the ball at your chest. This position is also called the loaded position. Now we will go to the proper hand placement on the ball. The proper hand placement all comes down to personal preference. Looking at a football, it has laces on the front side, and usually most people hold the football on the top side with either 3 or 4 fingers on the ball. For me, I like to put 2 fingers on the laces, and then the rest of my fingers are on the top of the ball. Now, when you hold a football, it might be different. People have different hand sizes, and having the proper hand placement all comes down to comfortability and personal preference. The third main point we will cover is the proper arm movements when throwing a football. So, when you have the ball in the loaded position, the first movement you will make is by moving the ball back. You want to form a 90-degree angle with your arm, and then another 90-degree angle with your arm and your body. You also want the football pointed directly behind you. The second movement is by starting to move the ball forward. By doing this, you want to bring your arm forward, leading with your elbow. You want to pretend that there is a thin metal board or a thin wood board, and you want to try to break that with your elbow. So I go in. After that movement, the third movement with your arm is you will extend your elbow down. Doing this will help you get more speed and velocity on the football. And then the final movement is by flicking your thumb and wrist down, and this movement will help you get a spiral on the football. So from the start, you bring the ball back, point it directly behind you. You want to form the 2 90-degree angles with your arm and your body. Then you start bringing the ball forward. You want to lead with your elbow and break the wood board. You want to snap your elbow down and flick the wrist at the end. Those are the proper arm movements in throwing the football properly. Today we covered the steps on how to throw a football properly. I gave you a step-by-step process, and we covered the 3 main points of establishing a base, using the proper hand placement on the ball, and the proper arm movements that go with throwing a football properly. I hope you all enjoyed and learned something today. And with the Super Bowl coming up, just know that Patrick Mahomes did watch this video, and when he makes a good pass in the Super Bowl, it is all because of me.